This is the Iowa Weather Report for Tuesday, June 9th, 2015, and now our first look at the zero-Z. GFS model run at 1 p.m. this afternoon. Trough digging in across the New England states and the eastern Great Lakes. They'll still have some precipitation out that way. Another disturbance moving into the far western Great Lakes will be producing some showers and storms across the far northern part of Minnesota, the Dakotas. That'll sweep through the UP of Michigan, northern Wisconsin, and stay clear away from us. But dry, sunny, hot. Highs in the 80s to lower, and maybe even some middle 90s in our western counties. It may be about the same here on Wednesday, maybe a touch cooler. Highs in the 80s to lower 90s across the state, with pretty much mainly sunny skies. But unfortunately, as we go to the end of into Wednesday night and Thursday, the next system approaches, and this is going to be a system followed by another system and another system, rounds and rounds of storms, but they're not going to be continuous. It's not going to be all-day rains. They're likely going to be similar to what we experienced Saturday night into Sunday as we go through these days. We had storms develop that afternoon and evening. They lasted into the overnight, and they dissipated in the early morning. So the daytime, late morning into the early to mid-afternoon, looks to be fairly dry during this period. It's that fairly late afternoon when they'll start developing. Evening and especially overnight, while many of you are sleeping, is when the best chances of precipitation are going to be. Precipitation rainfall amounts likely around maybe an inch. Some areas could get more than 2 inches between now and when this will end, Sunday or maybe even Monday of next week. So it's going to be rather wet, but it's not going to be all wet. And during the periods of dry, we'll see some sunshine more than likely, maybe partly mostly sunny skies. Highs during this period are going to be mainly in the 80s across the state, maybe lower to middle 80s at this rate. So we'll see. It's too early to determine severe weather at this rate either. But we've already made it to next Tuesday. You see, there's a disturbance centered about over Kansas City. Pretty much a straight west-east flow across the northern tier of the country, and with that disturbance there, guess what? It means it's still going to rain even into next Tuesday. So, in hindsight, the next 2 days are probably going to be the driest of the next maybe 7 to 10 days. So, take that with a grain of salt, though, however. Summertime convection can be very fickle, and even here in the extended period on June the 20th, ridge over the south and southeastern part of the country. However, the jet stream is pretty much main jet stream storm track over the northern tier of the country. One disturbance moving through with a cold front that could produce some showers and storms. Of course, detailing that this far out is rather fruitless at this point, but it's something to watch in the next couple of days. Showers and storms also across the Gulf Coast into the Carolinas as well. The end of the forecast on the 24th, now the ridge over the southeast is gone and is now shifted to the west and southwest. Main jet stream coming into the northwest and pretty much going along the northern tier of the country. We'll have one disturbance off to our east, producing some showers and thunderstorms across the eastern Great Lakes, New England, down to the Carolinas in the south, and back into Oklahoma and Texas again. Be fairly dry around here toward the end of the period. It may be a bit cooler, but that's all relative at this point. Satellite image from last evening shows showers and thunderstorms along the frontal system moving off the east coast. A couple of rumbles of thunder across the mid-south area, and the remnants of tropical storm was once Hurricane Blanca moving into the desert south and west. The watch warning map for last evening was fairly quiet. A couple of warnings down in the mid-south region in Mississippi. A couple of air quality alerts around Dallas. Red flag warnings in the north and west. Fairly quiet elsewhere outside of some river flood warnings across the country. QPF chart precipitation over the next 5 days through Saturday evening at 7 o'clock shows rainfall is going to be fairly decent, maybe 1 or 2 inches, but some will get more than that with repeated activity, and some could even get a lot less.